Okay, so we need a motion to open the executive committee.
I move it. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome to the Monroe County, Executive Committee for, Industrial Development Committee. We need to approve the minutes of, from May 13th.
Well,
For the
do
board.
you want them to do, can they do that, Barry? Approve the minutes of the board meeting?
We can table that to the next
Okay.
board meeting. There's no need to approve them at this point.
Okay.
We can all stay,
Oh, yeah.
and then in the August meeting, we can recap and vote on anything that the executive committee can't, like the.
Okay, Kevin, let's hear your report.
Okay. So I have our June 2026 monthly inspection report covering our visits between the 1st and 30th of June. We made 6 monthly site visits during this period. There were 0 follow-up visits. We checked residency with 390 workers. We had 0 issues of non-compliance, nor were there any new signs delivered.
Any questions for Kevin?
Okay.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Quickly with the financial report.
Yeah, so, sure. So cash is maintaining about $2 million. We will look to see if there's any excess cash there to invest probably, in the next, 30 days. Short-term investments represent our maturities. Again, you'll see a little fluctuation there just based on the market. Micro loan receivables, had $150,000 of loans go out in the month of June. Collected about $68,000 of principal and about $12,600 in interest for the month. Year-to-date, principal received on those loans about $384,000 and interest about $72,000 on our micro loan portfolio. I would say all the other assets and liabilities are in line with our budgets and expectations. As you can see, we're trending very nicely on our revenue. Just some timing differences really there. The revenue other represents the bond fee income that was closed last quarter. Again, same with our expenses, generally tracking to budget. No significant differences to budget, really just more timing differences. So overall, a very good, strong first half of the year.
Any questions for Craig? This is really working. We want to go to the executive committee report. We have Kim Galo with us from Camp Hard Hats program. She spoke with us a little earlier today on a request for funding for the Hard Hats program. Kim, would you love to come up and do your spiel again?
Sure. For those who don't know, Camp Hard Hat is a summer program for kids ages 12 to 15 to expose them to careers in construction. It encompasses 7 camps, 5 within Monroe County. In Monroe County, it's at Seneca Park Zoo, Lollipop Farm, Genesee Country Museum, Rochester Rotary Sunshine Camp, and then Homesteads for Hope. And they're not just building bat houses or bird houses, they're actually building structures for those nonprofits. At the Seneca Park Zoo last year, if you walk in, there's a big pergola that's right in front of like the snake house and the habitat house. They helped build that pergola. And they're built with BOCES instructors. So there's BOCES instructors teaching kids the safeties of using power tools, how to construct, but it's more than just the building and the use of construction tools and how to build, it's the teamwork, the collaboration. So this is the 3rd year of funding through Monroe County of the $25,000 for Camp Hard Hat. It is grassroots funded every year. None of us as board members make any money. It's really just about exposing them to careers in construction. As we all know, the trades are really super important. There's a lot of skilled workers, and this has been super important to us. And we thank Monroe County for the partnership. Camps are limited to 30 kids. 2 BOCES instructors teach along with, as kids age out of the program, I didn't mention this, we get junior instructors that come through too. So we're seeing 16 and 17 year olds come up and be junior instructors as part of the program, which is really cool. So that's kind of my spiel. Does anybody have any questions about the program?
So at the executive committee this morning, we approved $25,000 for the program here. So, this, will have to be approved by the board, but,
It's all good.
yeah, so we're good, okay? All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you guys
Yes,
very much.
coming up.
Absolutely.
All right.
To expect next year,
I will-
once again.
Yes, yes, I will
Great
talk with you.
program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, we're already like, we're in executive on committee, so we don't have to go to executive session.
No, you do.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, let's make a motion to go to executive session.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
So there's obviously two options here. One is to permit Tony and Craig and their team to negotiate a recovery of less than the full amount. The other option is to attempt to litigate to collect on the collateral and enforce your lien rights. Since you're in a second position, the business is not operating really, and there's a high likelihood of bankruptcy. The settlement offer is probably the best path to move forward in order to obtain some return on what's outstanding on this loan. Correct. So that's, I think, the offer on the table as of right now. I think the resolution would be to authorize us to negotiate a settlement, just in case there's trading up or down that's required to get this closed. Sure. We'd like to. So two things. One, the actual motion that we'll have to do outside of executive session. So we'll need a motion to come out first. But the basically what we would want is a motion to authorize the executive director to negotiate a settlement for a loan that's in default.
That motion, we're putting on the floor, can, we get, that motion accepted?
Motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, Tony. Comes out of your check. if you
That's the whole year.
I sort of feel for their company. I mean, you know, these companies fall on hard times, so it's no fault of their own. I think the real dignified way, if they accept it, is you know, if they accept this negotiation, that would be good for them. You know.
It's hard to feel bad for a company though that got $800 million, or is that 800,000 from NYSERDA? Is it 2 M's is million in these documents?
Yeah.
All right, a little easier to feel bad from. I thought that was 800 million, and I'm like, how was that possible?
800 million, we wouldn't be negotiating.
I've been trying to sell this for a while. We've heard it for a number of years. So that they actually were able to get a deal was positive.
So the motion was to authorize the executive director to negotiate the settlement, and the executive committee approved that motion. So, the question for Barry is the executive committee's approval sufficient for the executive director to move forward, or should we wait until August?
No, the executive committee is able to authorize this without the full board.
Okay.
Yeah, in absence of the board, I mean, it should have been here.
Yeah.
We have to do it.
Can only the executive committee approve it though?
So we, okay,
just
John.
You guys voted, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's just you, Jack. Everybody else. We defer to you.
Yes. So when do we get paid? After they closed on the sale? And that's,
Yeah, you get paid out of proceeds from the sale in exchange for releasing their liens.
Yeah, we'd have to submit our release, and once we get the money, our lien is released.
Well, Tony, maybe, we could use horns for the, SBA annual report. That you all, so skillfully put together, you're on.
Okay, is that where we are now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the SBA has an annual report, one of their several different things that we have to do. This one's an annual one due June 30th. It is for the prior year, so the report covers 2025. And we got that in a day or two before the deadline, which was a good thing. We don't anticipate any issues with it, but there is some information within here. A lot of it's the same type of stuff that we provide them each year. We have job numbers that we get updated each year. They have to start producing the required number of jobs within a 2-year period. So there's the 2-year ones here, and then all the ones that we've done in the past, you know, even if the loan pays off, it still stays on the report. Otherwise, we have such a small job number, it wouldn't make any sense. So we don't want to lose credit for jobs that we had already helped to create. They're usually kind of slow to get back to us on stuff. So if they do have any issues, you know, the fact that we didn't hear anything right away is not a surprise. That would be expected that they take a while. And sometimes their questions are like, really, that's your question? But, so we'll see if they come through with anything. If there's anything we need to do or something that needs it to come back to here, we will do that. But otherwise, we assume we've met our requirement, and we assume that everything in there is what they were asking for.
So I guess I'm understanding this, you're saying that this is glowing, right?
Yeah, for whatever questions they were asking, we, you know, have to supply them with a lot of it's, like I said, just this kind of the same stuff year to year, but it's an annual requirement, so that's what we do.
It's good to hear we put together a glowing report.
On time.
Yeah. Any questions for Tony on this here? Hold on for a minute. Keep getting kicked out of here. So if there's no questions for Tony, we're gonna move to the bylaw amendment. Barry?
Sure. First, did we want a motion to approve the annual report for the SBA?
We
the
need a
executive-
motion for that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, somebody move it.
motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We good?
We're good, thank you.
Now, let me just ask for clarification. When we just moved that motion, should it only be the executive committee that does it just now, or what?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so that
Everyone
wasn't the
can be part
executive
of.
committee. So
So
we
Zach
need
and Jeff.
Jeffrey or
Yeah.
Zach?
Got it.
Going forward, Jack and
Understood.
Jeff.
All right.
Zach and Jeff.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
I was wondering that myself.
Yeah, let's go back again here.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Zach, see you.
See, you're pivotal.
This is the type of government we want, you know?
Yeah.
One person. So that's approved, and, this is something that, you can go from there, all right? There's a bylaw amendment, Barry, you can walk us through this one here.
Sure. So as part of our SBA submissions that we've done for the prior bylaws amendment where we changed the annual meeting from being always held in December to being held annually in the month of our discretion. The SBA legal team who reviewed our bylaws requested a couple of additional changes, which are shown in the revised bylaws that I think were included in the packet. The first change is to the number of directors. New York not-for-profit corporation law requires a minimum of 3 directors for a not-for-profit board. The SBA has requested that we change that to a minimum of 7 directors. It's not an issue for our board. We have more than 7, not more than 15 is our current requirement. So we've made that change to satisfy the SBA. The second change that they've requested, which was already sort of implicit and included in the bylaws, but they asked that we clarify and make it more explicit, is that all directors of the board have to live in the area of operations, which is our 9-county region. And so, since all of our directors do currently live within our area of operations, we just update the bylaws to reflect that. And those were the only changes that were made to the bylaws. So again, more technical amendments that were required by the SBA, and we will need a motion to approve these changes, but let me know if you have any questions.
Once again, the executive committee has to vote on this.
Correct.
Any questions for Barry? So we can make a motion for the bylaw amendments?
I move it. And I will second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
So I guess that's moved, yeah. Are you doing the quarterly reports?
I was gonna ask if,
If there's no questions or anything?
yeah, there's nothing earth-shattering to report unless, you know, Tony or Craig, if there's anything you wanted to highlight on the loans. But if there are no questions, or the NAICS report.
The NAICS has been kind of similar to what it has been. Again, the kind of summary, just some selected highlights. Why did the new one make it in here? It's 30, I know it says dollar amounts under percent, it's supposed to be percent. Guess the revised one didn't make it in the packet. So it's about 38%. You have a manufacturing NAICS code. 12 for healthcare, 11 professional, scientific, technical, 11 construction. And retail itself, as defined by the NAICS code, was only 1%. In terms of the classifications, without saying any names, we have 90 loans still SBA-wise, 89% were passed to grade 3. We had the same watch list that we had previously. Some of them are on there just because we don't have a current financial. They are still paying on time. We do still pull business credit reports if we don't have any current financials. A few on here that were on here because we had some financials, but they showed a loss. They're still on here because we haven't had an updated financial that shows a profit. So those stayed the same. As far as special mention, that is a company that's still there. They have 2 loans, a mortgage and an equipment loan. They've hired a consultant who's providing us some information. We have some of the information. The rest I'm hoping to get this week, because he was had to meet with him one more time, which he was going to do after the 4th, which is this week. So hopefully I'll get the rest this week. But I've been in contact with SBA each month, and they're holding off on the debenture purchase while we're still actively engaging with them and getting the information. Hoping they can turn something around after they shed themselves of some assets that are not helping them. As far as our RLF portfolio, no additions or subtractions there. The only one is the company we just discussed previously, and they're on their substandard at the moment.
We are having some dialogue with another local entity in the community about a potential RLF transaction, so stay tuned for that. It's obviously pending underwriting and application, but really unique potential project supporting significant downtown assets.
In terms of financial statements, generally, we've spoke to some of the other CDCs that do this. They're running around 50%. They're happy if they're 60%. They try to have a challenge goal of 70%. So our 24s were at about 54% compliance receiving them. Our 23 statements were actually around 83%. 22 statements were at 90%. 25 is starting off slow, which isn't a surprise. We're only about 17% as far as getting the 25 annual statements in. And that's the tax return. So if we're dealing with someone and we have an internal, I didn't count them in that.
Are there any questions about any of the data and the onboard reflected in the quarterly reports?
Well, if not, I'll take a motion to adjourn. No more business.
Can I move that, or does it have to be executive? I didn't think I could, so.
It has to be, sorry, it has to be either Zach or
Would have to be-
Jeff.
Oh,
it has to be, okay.
I will second that.